the stage that LFY is going to bring the fight to you. Secondly, it combines very nicely with the Puck Dream Coil. The Blood Right, not only is it a good defensive spell in terms of counteracting against the push, offensively, very, very powerful before the BKB comes up. We might even see this might be one of those games where we see the first item BKB on the Dragon Knight Inklings. Like, it's so important.
I think the big thing that I worry about a bit with the Bloodseeker is there's just so much disable. Like, this hero really wants to be able to run around a lot in fights, and they have insane control. So that gives me
but you also have 3 silences to back up, right?
That's true.
You don't start the game with BKB. So, like, imagine he globals, the Rupture comes out, and what does LFY do before those BKB? Nothing. They just die. So I could definitely see this Bloodseeker kind of snowball out of control.
So so I think that's really what you're touching on is the key point. This is not an a la carte Bloodseeker that you're picking because he's good on his own. You're picking him because he's good with their heroes if they combo it properly.
Yep.
So we have to look towards how Newbee execute in team fights and how much synergy they're able to demonstrate on the field of battle.
I wonder how much that the Bloodseeker can pressure a Dragon Knight. Because one thing that you can do is, like, you get off a lot of pot shots against a fellow melee core on the mid lane. And if you could get them low enough, even through the Dragon Knight regen, you could gain a movement speed advantage on him to get even more hits in. Uh-oh, and Flame's going to get found in the trees. He has a Firefly here.
It's being pressured, though. With the open ones coming through, he's pretty far away from home. But the Firefly will continue forced on his
he even wants the rune.
Oh, he goes for the rune. That might just be his downfall. In Flame. Oh, ballsy. But Faith is there to cut him off as he decides, which way do I go? Tries to juke over the cliff. I think he makes it out. Two more auto attacks would do it.
Is that worth the bounty?
I mean, that's a salve's worth of damage he just took.
I guess you took it away from the Lifestealer?
Yeah.
He goes all the way to base.
It's
not okay.
It's not great.
Yeah.
He may have thought he was just going to die, so at least take the bounty rune with him. It's like, oh wait, I can actually live here. So yeah, how is this mid matchup going to go? Bloodseeker has the superior base damage, but you have to deal with Breathe Fire. DK has the plus armor to help mitigate the right-click damage, which is mainly what Bloodseeker offers. You can zone him back a little bit with Blood Right spam, but it's a fairly expensive spell to be spamming. So if he wants to do that, I'll probably have to get a bottle. So I don't know. I'm curious to see if there is a clear winner. Generally, DK just doesn't lose his lane. So if he does, this would be a rare first.
It also comes down to how much of how the other lanes are going, right? Let's not forget about Thirst. If, let's say, Newbee are winning the other lanes and all of a sudden SC gets constantly 20 extra MS, 20 extra damage, then the map really changes.
And he is getting the deny edge here. Super not doing so well.
Yeah, like, just look at despite Dragon Blood, well, he doesn't have it yet, but he'll have it now. But despite of that, I think SC is going to be able to pressure him very hard.
Yeah, seems like the Bloodseeker has the edge so far. Obviously, the more Breathe Fire levels up, and once you get your bottle, you can just kind of spam that to CS, and in doing so also limit the pressure. The Bloodseeker can offer nice little assist there as Triple C dual laning with Super and help him get some last hits. Yeah, top lane. LFY do have a tri-lane, and the Fissure comes through. One more Searing Arrow would get the job done, and LFY draw the first blood. So while that mid lane is going well, and a lot of eyes are attending there, LFY getting on the board elsewhere. They're still down in gold even after that, though. Lifestealer doing very well in the bottom lane. You see Inflame just already back to the jungle. With the Arcane Rune, he's actually going to try and farm some creeps early.
All right. Stack that napalm much faster. There you go.
Fish. Triple C is dominating.
Yeah. Which is, you know, pretty rare to say that against Super DK, right? Because he's so good against most traditional, like Queen of Pain or Pug. But this is... I thought Bloodseeker wins as a matchup, but I didn't think he'll win it that hard. I don't know.
I kind of thought LFY would give him a little help, but it seems like they just want to focus on this top lane. As DDC is being pressured back, KP forcing him on his heels, the Curse of the Silent.
SC could run up here and just take a kill.
Slowly plinked down, but he's not bothering. Figures his team has it. DDC, almost denied by the Roche. That would have been a real facepalm moment for Newbee had the Roche gotten the last hit. still, at least it's a support, you know. The Clinks is happily trying to farm away. Now, but that said, he's not CSing that well. Only 12 so far. Generally, as Clinks, with his really long windup, it's kind of hard to last hit those first few levels. But once your Syrian arrows get high enough, it gets easier.
A big reason why SC is winning this mid matchup so hard is that he's been able to deny the range creep. Super, pretty much every time he breeze fire, let's say for a melee creep CS, it brings the range creep low enough, and then SC just denies it. I don't think he's even got a single range creep in about 4 minutes of gameplay.
He is down almost a full level in a true 1v1.
Yep, that's the range creep.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, in flame.
Yep,
dies in flames. As Moogie runs him down solo. Big pick off there. So Newbee crushing their 2 solo lanes and up on kills, now 2-1. I think you could say at least breaking even, if not winning this top lane, because they are denying the Clinks' farm. So it's a great start for Newbee. Lumi, you wanted stronger lanes. You're getting them right now as a Newbee fan. Well, for those who are Newbee fans.
Yeah. Don't peg me as a Newbee fan. Top lane. Although I do like them quite a bit.
What's wrong with Newbee?
Nothing.
Jeez, why are you hating on Newbee? God.
Level 6 on SC. I do wonder where he goes to gank. You do see that Super is prepared for a rupture. He has a teleport squirrel being sent out right now. But
yeah, how will the Bloodseeker play this? Is this going to be a QO style Bloodseeker? Do we see that early Radiance? Do we see him constantly going for rupture ganks? Is he mostly trying to give his team more damage? Is he the frontline tank? I guess time will tell exactly how his Bloodseeker may differ from other players.
I think an early BKB is always warranted because, like you said, there are so many stuns available to disable him. BKB Radiance is the QO way.
Moogie trying to get on in flame here bottom. If he can get the vision for the open wounds, this will be a kill.
Meanwhile, it looks like LFY starting off with the fissure up top. It did not get off the block as Afu intended.
There's definitely some misfires here for LFY. Maybe I've been able to punish so far. The rupture is ready and they let it go right now on Super. Does have the TP scroll, but just keeps on running back to the base. That pure damage is just destroyed him. He gets the stun up under the tower, but the burrow connects and Bloodseeker commits. No TP support in sight. They're busy trying to counterplay and punish top, and they will do so. Fissuring off Faith, catching him in the shackles. KP can do naught but watch. So it is a 1-for-1 around the map. A Dragon Knight for a support silencer.
Yeah, but you got Faith. Like, who cares? The 5 position support.
Yeah.
And you lost your Dragon Knight.
Agreed.
Sorry, that sounded very condescending towards Faith. He is a TI champion.
One of the older TI champions, in fact. Any lane adjustments, Lumi? Like, are you surprised?
I think too late to adjust. Super's going bottom, but like, you know, he's so under level at this point that like Moogie says, okay.
No one's laning mid.
Yeah, welcome to bottom lane, dude.
Triple C has his own lane now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to rotate on top instead. A hasted Bat Rider, only level 4, coming in. They're going to try to kill off Faith again, and it looks like they should be able to do so.
Yep.
Slowly cooking him. But yeah, just nobody wants to lane mid now. Bat Rider doesn't want to go there. Super certainly sure as hell does not.
Yep.
He has hit level 6 now, so he'll use his ult early. Already the tower's been whittled down to below 500 health. And the other thing is, because the Dragon Knight's been forced off the lane, his big early benefit is, no matter what happens, he usually pushes the tower, but I don't think he's going to be doing that bottom.
No, he's not. He's not even seen a tower yet.
Perhaps Newbee have the Dragon Knight figured out.
And this is giving other teams some ideas to how to beat LFY. That's perhaps an even more dangerous aspect for LFY moving forward in the tournament.
The CS discrepancy is absurd. 36 denies on the Bloodseeker, 58 last hits.
Yep. He does have a...
almost 3 times the Dragon Knight's last hits, and then 36 times his denies. Easy.
Man. Math. Bloodseeker going for the Blade Mail. Obviously super good against, you know, the Clinks.
That's a 3,600% advantage.
Tell me more.
You were a math teacher once, right?
I studied to be a math teacher. And then Dota happened.
Thank God it did.
All right, Newbee smoked up top. Not gonna commit the gank. Oh, I see. He's just looking for anything to rupture. Rupture here? I don't think he wants to. Okay, there's a Rupture. A little bit late. He's gotten to the tower already. Burrow Strike's going to come through. Afu wants the Fissure and help, but not really going to do much. Oh, the Fissure misses. And then because of that, Kaka will survive. I don't think they have detection for him.
It's a level 1 Sandstorm, but nowadays that means you're waiting a long time.
Yeah, he's going to walk it off.
Kaka just easily able to scurry back. Gets away to safety. The lanes have really not broken the way LFY hoped for. So I guess you turn towards their mid game. Do they have the tools they need to come back? What are some of the key points on how LFY can stay relevant in this game?
I think if you're Inflame, you think about even skipping your drums as he ports out from the bottom. The drums, I think, delays the Blink Dagger so much that you just need the Blink to actually fight your way back. Dragon Knight is not exactly a comeback hero. He relies on having a good lane stage. Top lane, looks like we're going to see a gank on Monet. Rupture comes out. He doesn't have a TP. Not that he could TP out anyways. He's going to go down. And then you need to start rotating this Clinks to participate in these kind of small ganks and get tier 1 towers behind it. That's always the Clinks game plan. So there's a lot that LFY can do. It comes down to, you know, getting the right play set up.
They're committing another smoke as they rotate towards top. It's been so much pressure on this top lane. The Fissure connects, will bring down Kaka, but they want more. I don't think they realize that Supra's coming in could be a huge opportunity. If they kill SCCC here, all that great start that he had is quickly turned awry, and now with the Hex coming through, he's quite tanky, but still killable. Drops the Blood Right. Couple more Searing Arrows should do the trick. They bring SCCC down.
Perfect.
A bounty claimed for LFY. And just like that, they claw their way back in the game.
All right, and likely they're going to at least get some sort of damage on this tier 1.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this rotation, right? Is in theory, they should be able to really hit the tower quite hard between Searing Arrows. As I say that, I think they're afraid, though, because Newbee could be committing with the Bloodseeker respawn. Right. Also, Silencer is global now, and I think seeing that LFY are like, yeah, we don't really want to risk that siege.
Yep. And they are able to do all of that without the Bat Rider, which gives them, you know, room and space to farm in the jungle. Looks like he's going to go for the standard drums build, just so that they could be more mobile and quick in these team fights. Getting a movement speed advantage against the Bloodseeker lineup is very key. Obviously, when you Rupture, you don't care about movement speed. Back in the mid lane, Fissure and a kill. Monet. This is what he needs to do across the map. Get a kill, hit the buildings.
And they do have great reliable setup as the game moves along for that to enable that Clinks. Long range disable in the Fissure, the Blink Lasso, maybe a Blink Dragon Tail or Shadow Blade Dragon Tail. Lots of ways that LFY can set kills up for the Clinks to snag. Something that was a little lackey when Secret ran the Clinks, like they had the charge initiation, that was really the main way of starting those fights, but it's not reliable.
Yep, Rupture happening on the mid lane. He's going to try to TP out immediately. Where is the stun? Miscommunication. Faith ported it in before Kaka did.
That should have been the other way for sure.
Yeah, because, you know, Faith essentially don't contribute much to a gank. He could global from anywhere.
Mugi being tracked here bottom, but they're going to swing towards the Radiant jungle instead, where Faith is lurking. Still that global ready. The persistence pays off here. Newbee are able to grab a tower takedown as they hunt for Faith, but TP out immediately. Kaka not going to be in range in time. LFY doing a good job at picking their fights here as the laning stage breaks down. They're not forcing the issue too much. They're respecting the global. They're going only for safe kills.
Yep.
Newbee are really going to have to work to find that big team fight to crack this game wide open.
It will come soon. If you look at the puck, he is sitting at 1,700 gold. Just need a minute or so. Once he has the coil, Blink Coil Global, I don't think LFY has much answer. And now Lifestealer gets dragged down. Monet, not enough damage output to plink him down. Global is going to come out. Are they going to return and fight, or is it going to be an escape? Looks like they're going to try to run.
Waiting for that Fissure opportunity. Lifestealer heading to the north will be corralled, focused down. And they blew the Global too, as you mentioned. No Bloodseeker in this fight. Puck was late to the party as well, so Newbee starting to look a little uncoordinated here. Getting punished for it.
Yep. This is kind of the dip in the Bloodseeker power level, is that he's working on his first major items. His ganks are, unfortunately for him, not connecting.
Yeah, the days of, you know, Bloodseeker running around killing heroes solo are, you know, long gone. Everyone carries TPs now. It's got to be a team effort.
Yep.
And as we mentioned, he's really most useful with that Coil Bloodright combo heading towards the mid game, something we haven't seen yet, Lumi.
Yeah. I mean, right now he could definitely get kills just with a single Burrow Strike. It looks like we're going to support in and start a fight. Coil does break and Rupture coming in soon. TP out. Where's the Burrow Strike? Kaka not getting in. Well, he got there, but he's dead. Inflame is going to pour it out as well. And with Kaka dead, there is no way to break that.
Where's the stuns? They just don't have them. Coil committed, Sand King dead, and while that's happening, the Radiant Courier gets blown up.
DDC drops the ward in the mid lane, applies some pressure there. And now Monet joins in. They will lose a tier 1 tower as well. Newbee had the good first 5 to 8 minutes. But
LFY have the shot calling right now. The positioning is on point. The TPs have been timely. Newbee seem very reliant on their Sand King, and Kaka, the struggles continue, Lumi. This is probably the third Sand King game in a row that we've cast of him where he hasn't had a great start. While the rest of the team is doing well, he's still struggling to get that fast blink dagger. It just doesn't seem like he's the impact force on SK that he used to be. Or at least other teams have figured out how to slow him down.
Yeah, I think a combination of that is pairing him with a puck as well. Because normally, you know, if KP doesn't necessarily have to rush a blink, KP could give up a little bit of his farm to Kaka. But, you know, obviously Puck needs his blink. And then Sand King also needs a blink. There's just not enough farm to go around between these players. Because you're not going to take anything away from the Lifestealer or the Bloodseeker, that's for sure.
Newbee are going to smoke. They have the global ready. The Puck and the Bloodseeker join forces. But the direction they're heading, not sure they'll find any LFY heroes. Scan clears the high ground and they move in. KP leading the charge. While it's happening, there's a gank in the top lane. Looks like that Sand King might go down again. Shackled up, DDC, then the lasso. All the chains binding Kaka.
Yep.
Turning him again into dust. Another death, and that blink feels like a forlorn dream right now.
Oh, they're going to come in and at least pick up 1 or 2 kills. They see Inflame. Inflame just blinks out. DDC ports. There's no way to cancel that coil. Everybody's going to be safe. KP misses the coil altogether. An absolute disaster.
And Newbee are wasting time here. You know, Mookie's not farming. Bloodseeker was a part of that smoke for the first half or so. At least they didn't blow the global, so they can try again in relatively short amount of time. But meanwhile, LFY, they took that bottom tower, they've taken the mid tower. They've equalized things in terms of map control quite nicely. They've really stabilized this game after a rough start.
I mean, Dragon Knight is still having a tough game. You know, he's still 1,500 net worth behind the Bloodseeker, but for the most part, he's caught up. You know, a big part of the reason why they couldn't actually get off a good gank LD is that when they started that smoke gank, there was absolutely no vision on the other side of the map. You see the wards in the dire jungle. They dropped that during the smoke. Had they had the vision there before, they knew that they shouldn't have gone that direction. There was nobody there. So another game where vision is having a huge impact in this early game.
Another issue I do think...
They just smoked on top of ward right here, Newbee. Again, the vision game. Yeah.
Another issue that I do see, I'll hold that thought, we might have a big fight brewing. Newbee moving into position, smoking again. They have the ward. They'd like to get the jump on Inflame, and this time they strike Paydirt. They will coil him up, munch him with the Lifestealer. Mugi secures the kill for the team. But they're not that good at transitioning into objectives. That is a big weakness of their draft. The Blade Mail build on a Bloodseeker, he doesn't hit all that hard. He's much more of a hero killer. Lifestealer, you know, no signs of an early Desolator. The armlet's okay. Yeah. And they will take this tier 1 mid, but like going for a bigger objective like a full HP tower or a Roshan, that's not something they can do. LFY on the other hand, 1 kill, they drop the ward, the Klink size is Deso now, and they're just straight into the pit, or they're straight onto the tier 2.
Yeah, it feels like the Lifestealer needs to pick up a Desolator of his own to supplement the pushing. But even with that, I think Newbee is more about, hey, we kill you, and then you don't have any heroes to defend the tower, we'll just run down tower.
Well, swing and a miss for Afu. Tried to Echo Slam, cancel that TP, but not quite able to do it in time. Looks like he's a bit out of range, so good escape there. LFY whiffing, but still, overall, I think the game has definitely gotten a lot more relaxed with them. Bottom lane, though, Super, again, the TPs. This time, Kaka is ready, and this time, Super will be punished. The Dragon's wings are clipped. A Newbee secure a desperately needed kill.
Yep. That's the gank that they need to keep on doing. Kaka plus SC.
Look at the damage Monet is pumping out. Almost able to just solo kill Faith. That is the worry for Silencer, is this hero tends to be underfarmed and very squishy as a support, and if Monet ever isolates him, he just dies before the fight begins, or he wastes the global, you know, at a suboptimal time.
Yeah, Faith is trying to itemize against that. He is going for the Ghost Scepter. Likely there are going to be Diffusal Blades to pick up to counter that, but one step at a time.
Newbee, close to that Blink Dagger for Kaka finally. About 300 gold away. So that was a big part of that kill. It looks like Newbee are going to gear up more to take this a bit later, as KP is transitioning into a Midas right now. Bloodseeker farming towards his BKB. Sanj and Yasha the pickup for Mugi. So like some items that will let them fight now, but they are looking for a little insurance should it drag on.
Yeah, historically, when you look at heroes like Lifestealer, Bloodseeker, and Puck, you might think that they don't scale that well in the late game, but I think the talents really help out. Bloodseeker in particular, if you ever get to 25, man, that -7 second cooldown Blood Riot is...
I gotta stop talking about Kaka. Oh, I actually did buy the Blink. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, I think him again, but Blink secured, so the pain is suffering is over once this respawn kicks in.
I think the mid game is gonna be...
But yeah, you were saying like they have a power spike late game.
Yeah, like ultra late game. They like...
Obviously, everyone knows about the
420 on Puck.
The dank gold per minute that
Yeah.
Puck can get. Which Bloodseeker do you like, the Blood Right cooldown or the Lifesteal one better?
They're both quite good, but I think the Blood Right cooldown is the one that most people select more frequently. It becomes impossible to actually push in the high ground. DDC? Gonna get picked off here by the roaming gang squad.
Now they're still trying to pressure bottom, and it looks like Monet in position with that Dessa almost finished off the tower, and that is one thing that has been difficult for Newbee is these towers starting to fall, but now Batrider caught out with the Rupture, Bloodright coming through, and it should be a solid Bat kill follow-up. So 2 down. LFY needs to get out of here. Newbee are on the chase. Buybacks available for the Batrider if he wants to rejoin the fight as Clinks runs in deep. He's behind enemy lines. They go for the slam. The jam is not there, but the auto attacks are coming in and they still get the kill. The global's been blown, gets nothing done, and now Newbee on the run. SCCC in danger if a Dragon Tail comes through. It's bad, but Kaka strikes back with the Epi. Not enough for a kill just yet. Super stays alive. The wards get popped down. The fissure again. Ah, boo! Are you kidding me? Makes it 3. They might get 4. Shaker saves the day. And Afu takes a big old dunk on top of Newbee. KP tries to salvage it, jumps right back in, gets 1 kill. Still sticking around. Wants to use that Midas if nothing else.
There's not enough mana for him to do anything. Probably blink forward, Midas the range creep and the orb back.
I mean, he'd love a kill. I don't think he has the mana to do much, but he's got the coil soon. Yeah, he's just gonna back away.
So in that engagement, to me, it was hard for Faith, but he needed to global right after the Echo, before the fissure came out. I'm gonna watch it one more time. Afu pops it off, and the global came just a tad too late, and because of that, because of the fissure hitting, enough damage was dealt. Clinks just came in from the side. Epicenter, this is where you say, Afu, look, you're only level 11, that level 1 ultimate. Had he had a level 2 ultimate, I think that fight changes completely. I think the DK will die. I think Monet will probably die as well.
And so much of that goes back to all of the early deaths. And the slow start Kaka's had is early game has almost become a liability, which is crazy to talk about. When you look at Kaka, I think he had like 6 months where he was consistently like, playing as well as Afu has been this tournament. Dominating the landing stage, creating a lot of space for the team, but for whatever reason, this, at least in the games that we've cast him, that just hasn't been the story.
I think it's one of those things where you play one hero so many times that the opposition just gets so many like data on you. Like they know your gank patterns, they know your moves, where you ward, and things like that. And it just feels like he's been figured out. Now I don't want to say he's a one-trick pony. Kaka has a bunch of heroes, but his team has time and time again selects him Sanking first pick always.
And they do it early too.
Yeah.
So your opponents definitely know it's coming. Meanwhile, looking at item progression as the game will slow down a bit. BKB nearly complete on the Clink. The tier 2 will fall bottom, denied by Kaka, but still more map control forfeited for the Newbee squad. Other than that, let's see, what else do we have? Our Dragon Knight now working towards, in fact, just completed, is BKB. We already saw the Shaker blink. Yule's on the way. Blink up on the Shaman. So lots of extra mobility. Some very strong combat items coming out for the side of LFY. For the side of Newbee, they just got that Midas. They got a Yasha on the Bloodseeker. We already saw the Kaka blink, and that's really about it. So don't feel like they're hitting the same power spike.
Newbee has maybe one more fight left in them before they can't fight anymore. Then they have to just switch gears and go turtle up because these BKBs are coming out. We already talked about how strong the LFY BKB is going to be against Faith, against this Puck, against the Sand King. There is no way that Newbee could win a team fight should double or triple BKBs come out. This is their last smoke gank before
they want to split push, before they want to like slow the game down.
Just turtle up.
Let the Puck Midas kick in, you know, let the Bloodseeker spend some time farming. But here comes the clash. Sand King Illusion coming in, quickly dealt with by a Hex. There is a completed Solar Crest as well, something great to throw on the Dragon Knight. Bat Rider going for that pretty early. LFY creeping in. Newbee trying to back away.
Inflame hunting.
All about this Roche.
I wonder whether LFY recognized that they were much stronger right now. Obviously, they don't have all the visions that we do and see, you know, item timing and stuff like that. Had they just walked into the pit and just claimed Roche, it's very likely that they would have gone.
It's scary, right? Like, Newbee's zone control and ability to take fights around the pit is pretty unparalleled. With you just global into that big blood right silence epicenter combo.
They could BKB everything, though. That's the thing. The only thing they can BKB is the Rupture.
That's true.
I guess it's more of like LFY has 2 BKB. The rest of the team is still quite affected by the global. LFY, though, now this time, they're the one that's selecting a gank.
Oh, KP would be a huge takedown. He blinks back. He did break it. Still, though, caught in the middle of it is the Silencer. Down immediately. Faith is dead. No buyback available.
War Trap.
And the War Trap follow-up. They get SCCC as well. LFY strike while the iron is hot. And they draw blood again. Now the Roche should be an easy grab.
I guess this is why they're 11-0 team. You know, had the rough early game. Remember where 15 minutes ago it was, as the scenario we pointed out, nobody could even go mid to lane against the Bloodseeker.
Afu is waiting, crouching in the trees, Echo available. A wayward Puck runs in and dies, and then the global comes out. Uh-oh. Kaka wanted to try and jump into the pit with Epicenter, but the timing's not right from Faith, and now the jig is up. There's a ward here, and as Kaka tries to get rid of it, he's going to find himself on the run. Afu blinking in, nails them with the fissure, could go for the full Echo commitment. Faith again served up on a silver platter. Snack turns into meal, and LFY not only get the Roche, but some free kills as well. Newbee are in utter disarray now.
I feel like Afu has a Ravage on a 15-second cooldown. Pretty much. Like, the way that he's been playing, you know, we saw that highlight on the bottom where he's been hitting 2 to 3 every single time with his fissure.
Yeah,
just then here again.
It's not like, oh yeah, like, you know, 5-man Echo Slam, you know, with an Ice Blast follow-up. It's just really well-placed and timed fissures that hit 3 heroes instead of 1 or 2, that interrupt combos that, you know, are just timed right and positioned right to win them fights. Like, a lot of Shakers are, you know, Shakers more flashy with the Echo, but I think the fissures have been far more important this game.
Yep, we just saw a comparison of the 4-position player, and I think this matchup between the two teams is entirely based on what we just saw in those screens. The stats are relatively similar, but a lot of the small things, I think, Afu is just doing better. And this is not to discredit. Kaka is one of the best 4-position players in China. It's just lately he has just not been on point, I think.
He just isn't playing his best Dota right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to know why. It's not even to necessarily say that it's his fault individually, but for whatever reason, like, he's just not that impact force that Afu is right now. And I think it shows you that Newbee really do rely on that. Like, mid lane went great. SCCC had a good time. Granted, Faith's globals have been pretty suspect.
It's hard for Faith to have good global because the burst damage is coming out so quickly. Like, you have milliseconds to react. They find him, Fissure is going to connect the stun, they got Hex, they got the Shackle.
And KP's now dying too much. That's 2 times in a row he's been picked off. Something you can ill afford, and even with the Midas still trailing the Bat Rider net worth, it just, It feels like Newbee is just starting to crack under the pressure. The LFY have such good pick-off potential. They're constantly roving around with the Clink scouting, the Batrider looking for jumps. Now he's got a gem, so again, the vision game comes into play. And again, just like last game, LFY have vision supremacy. There is basically nothing out of Newbee's heroes to offer that vision.
And this is simply doing it through wards, right? You don't have a, you know, I mean, I guess you have a Batrider.
The Batrider's like good for getting the wards up and dewarding. Obviously,
Yeah.
his personal vision is quite limited nowadays, but yeah.
Super striking at the buildings again. Not even committing the Dragon form. Meanwhile, Klink's doing the same in the mid lane. And all Newbee could do is just watch.
Just raining down pain on these those red arrows. Just a constant stream of damage output. And then you see the follow-up to this. It's the wards getting plopped down outside the base. The Dragon Knight building his halberd to disarm the Lifestealer, the Bloodseeker in this upcoming fight. Really negate their output. Monet steps up. He's confident with an Aegis.
By the way, they still have 10-second BKBs. They haven't even needed to use their BKBs yet. Now he eats a Rupture. He's going to take it all on the front line. Global comes out as well. Super activates the BKB. Will die to the physical damage.
Oh,
3-man coil.
Combo, but no follow-up.
Like, okay, that got me excited.
They got heroes that should be killable, right? Like they got the Batrider, they got the
No, they threw everything.
The Shaman,
they threw everything on Dragon Knight.
But they didn't have the Epicenter. They didn't have the Rupture.
Which is fine, I think, for Newbee, right? You got a 10-second BKB out of it. You repelled the push. You killed the Serpent Wards. Yeah, the tier 3 suffer like half his HP in terms of damage, but I think for Newbee, that's as good as it gets.
The thing is, LFY still has this Aegis for a minute. Oh, they're going to find him again. KP, third time in a row. He's been picked off on his own.
It's the vision game. He stood here, right on his Newbee logo, and then there's a ward seeing him. Afu says, okay, I'm going to fissure you from fog, and then they just lasso him, hex him, and that's it.
Dead for 30. Dragon Knight up in 15. The Aegis still online for about a minute. This is prime time to take the tower. Though they will be lacking those Shaman wards. Monet should at least get the tier 3 that's going to open the way to the shrines. Not sure he gets the racks unless they really want to risk it. They are going to dust up here, try to scare him away. There goes the fissure. Afu does have Echo in his back pocket, but he doesn't want to commit for it. While, meanwhile, Mugi just TP'd away from the shrine. Super may have scouted him any over that way, but not going to find him.
Now, if I would back up right now, I think for them, they are okay waiting for the next kind of array of items that they want. Finishing up a 4-staff on Shaman will be good.
As far as Newbee goes, how do you see them transitioning from this point forward? Like, that combo that we talked about is largely countered by the BKBs, right?
Yeah, well, if it doesn't activate the BKB, right? Because Sand King is going to come in with Burrow Strike right on top of the Dragon Knight. And I don't think Super, as great of a player he is, he could kind of...
Afu is a Yules, though, so he can just Yules himself and then remove the global, come in and interrupt it anyway.
I mean, we saw how quickly that Dragon Knight went down, despite his, 2,800 HP. They are going to dump everything on him.
And you still think they like absolutely need the DK to win a fight?
I think when you lose your DK like that, LFY is going to just back off.
Rupture on Monet, he beat KP, shrugs it off, almost brings down Kaka, one auto attack shy of the kill, still standing there. The Rupture wearing off, about a quarter left. Now they're going to coil, commitment again, the global comes through, time very nicely, revving up the epicenter, they get to work, they bring down that pesky Bone Fletcher, but the trade is super, is left unchecked.
Afu coming in.
Slows them down, now the lasso through, locking down Mugi, trying to finish off the Lifestealer, but he's so damn tanky, it's taking forever. A silence mid enchant totem, the Echo still available. Afu keeps it in reserve, they blow everything. They get the Clanks, that cost them 2, and the global, and now the puck as well, a 1-for-3 exchange. And that was without the Echo Slam, which is still ready.
I think what we saw there is just the numerical advantage that LFY is having. Like, it was a good initiation from Newbee. It's just that more items, more HP from LFY, and they just kind of tanked through all of it.
Afu's in, doing some heavy hitting here with the totem. No epicenter, no coil, no global. No Bloodseeker BKB, and now no melee racks top. LFY draw first blood in terms of structures. They are closing in on that 12-0 start in the groups, looking Just like such a complete team. They're winning from behind, they're winning from ahead. They've shown a bunch of different picks and styles for a variety of their heroes, and I mean, it's just hard not to run out of good things to say about this team with the way they're playing.
Yeah, when a team has been winning every match, there's a lot of good things. Let's talk about the Bloodseeker as a whole, because we saw what he was able to do in the laning stage. He dominated the DK, you know, a hero that you said has always done really well in the lane stage.
Since the Breathe Fire change.
Right, and then he, you know, just kind of fell off. I think largely...
Like, who's had more impact? I would definitely say Dragon Knight has had more impact on this game.
And that's because of the item build that he went for. When you go for things like Blade Mail, Yasha into BKB, you need to supplement that with a bunch of kills. Remember, there were a whole bunch of times where he ruptured, Faith ported in instead of Kaka, or they had to port in a different timing. They missed a couple kills like that. You can't miss kills with Bloodseeker.
KP tries to counter-initiate here. They get the burrow off on the Batrider. How much do they want to commit on him? He does have an Aghanim Scepter. He could go for this two-hero lasso and try to hold them back. SCCC dropping the Rupture, and they turn their attention to the Bat, whose last ult's already done. Then the double Ward Trap. No, not quite. SCCC, though, also getting out of it. Eats his way free. DDC on the chase. The core's on the run. They're low, though. Still Afu with the Echo. At some point, he's going to hit one, but just not yet, it seems. As DDC finds the Stretch Armstrong Sackles, but instantly get canceled out. Mookie makes it back to safety. Kaka also on the run. Heavy commitment from LFY, and they do manage to clean up Faith on the other side of the fight. Still Echo Slam ready. They do have the global now.
I mean, that wasn't the worst for Newbee. Again, like, they lost the numerical advantage, but BKBs are starting to go relatively low now. And they are getting closer to the ultimate game plan, which to me is, if they have a chance of winning, it's hitting to level 25. Although, unfortunately, Puck has been dying every single fight.
I think KP's had like 6 deaths in the last 15 minutes. Okay, 5. But all of them have come, you know, since he got the Midas, I want to say. In the river, DDC getting caught out, ruptured up. Currently trying to stay alive as best he can. Hexes one, shackles the other, and will accept his fate, whether he likes it or not. Yep. He is dead. That's a nice little killing spree ended. Sadly for Newbee, Roche is not up just yet. Close to the, not the max respawn, but close to the 10-minute respawn. Newbee are hoping that they can sneak a Roche. I don't think the timing's going to work out.
I feel like if SC could finish his Butterfly in the next, let's say, 5 to 7 to 10 minutes, he might just take over this game in terms of physical damage output. Between BKB and Evasion, there's very little Alpha could do right now. KP comes in, he's going to get found, is he going to get lasso? That's a question. He orbs to the right side, and he just dies. Tunnel vigiling on the fight in the mid lane. He wasn't watching his hero. Now Fissure clips on Kaka. Global comes in again late, maybe protecting
They've
SC.
still got a lasso, though. This Batrider's not giving up just yet. Flame Break pulls SCCC closer into the clutches. Batman can't quite wrangle him in. Now the buyback. Newbee still want to take this fight, but the BKB's up on Monet, and he stands there like a bulwark against the offense. In comes Kaka, Dragon Tail before he can burrow. He hesitates. He's getting punished for it. Now likely to go down. Super finishes him off. Just a bit slow on the trigger, and still Afu waiting for that Echo opportunity. Really doesn't need it. He still has impact without it. The Batrider may have overplayed his hand. He's got the lasso. Can he get it off? No. Newbee bring him down, and now Afu strikes. Nailing them with the Echo, and then to the cross comes the Fissure. He hits all 3, cleans them up, and KOs Newbee out of the match and out of their opportunity to take a game off LFY. They are still undefeated. They are still dominant.